The alien survey ship cut across the void like a dagger of steel, its long-range sensors brushing the edges of an uncharted system. Captain Rissler had charted hundreds of star clusters in her career, yet something about this one tugged at her instincts. The readings were faint but steady, energy signatures too controlled to be natural, too primitive to belong to any known galactic power. She leaned forward, mandibles clicking with unease. "Bring us in closer," she ordered, her voice tight. "Let's see who's hiding in the dark." The system revealed itself slowly, planets gliding like silent sentinels around a modest yellow star. Most were barren, but the third world sang with life. Oceans glittered like silver glass, continents lush and green, its atmosphere rich with oxygen. Yet it wasn't just habitable, it was occupied. From orbit, faint outlines shimmered through the haze of clouds, cities, crude but unmistakably alive, pulsing with energy. Someone had built here. Someone had endured. Rissler's secondary navigator, a cautious young ensign, turned pale under the fluorescent bridge lights. "Captain, this is impossible. The archives confirmed this planet was classified as abandoned centuries ago, quarantined, after the Terran diaspora." The word Terran sent an unspoken ripple through the crew. Humans, the old nightmare, the species the galaxy had whispered about for millennia, gone fractured, thought extinct after their wars burned even themselves. Yet here was proof. A colony, hidden, surviving in silence while the galaxy moved on. Rissler's claws tapped her armrest. Humans don't vanish, they endure. And this may be why the archives were so careful. Her commons officer hesitated, then asked the question everyone feared: "Do we make contact?" But no one needed to answer. The humans already had. As their ship adjusted orbit, the alien vessel was pinged by a transmission, blunt, efficient, broadcast in a language not spoken openly for centuries: English. The voice that filled the bridge was clear, firm, almost casual. "Unknown vessel, you are trespassing in restricted space. Identify yourself immediately, or prepare to be engaged." The bridge froze. These weren't lost survivors stumbling in the dark. These were guardians, organized, prepared, and they had found the intruders first. Rissler forced calm into her voice. "Open channel. Tell them we come in peace." But even as the words left her mouth, her sensors officer hissed, "Captain, they're moving." Across the planet's surface, enormous hangars yawned open. Atmospheric craft surged skyward, sleek fighters cutting through the air like fangs. Orbital cannons shifted on hidden platforms, tracking silently toward the survey ship. A forgotten colony did not raise such defenses overnight. These humans had been preparing, waiting. The first human ship broke through the clouds, climbing higher than its primitive design should have allowed. Its hull bore scars of countless skirmishes, its insignia a stylized claw and star. It didn't speak, didn't hail. It simply took position directly in front of Rissler's vessel, daring them to make the first move. The ensign whispered, "Captain, they were waiting for us." Rissler swallowed hard. She had seen fleets mobilize before, but never like this. The humans had not just survived exile, they had built a war machine in silence. And worse, they weren't surprised to see aliens. They were ready. The alien bridge was tense, every crew member locked on the single human fighter now hovering before them like a predator testing its prey. Captain Rissler raised a trembling claw. "Hold position, no sudden moves." But her words felt hollow. The humans had already demonstrated control. They had forced the mighty Carthian vessel into silence. The commons crackled again. This time the voice was older, deeper. "A commander, perhaps. Alien ship, you found what you were not meant to find. This colony is not lost, it was hidden, and we are no longer defenseless." His tone wasn't arrogant, it was calm, terrifyingly calm, like someone holding cards no one else could see. Rissler leaned forward, mandibles twitching. "We do not seek war," she said firmly. "We come as explorers, not conquerors." For a moment, silence. Then the human replied, "Explorers arrive without guns trained. Yours are locked on our skies. That speaks more truth than your words." On the tactical display, The alien crew saw the impossible. Every orbital cannon on the planet had locked directly onto their coordinates. A dozen firing solutions calculated in real time. These weren't scavengers cobbling scraps. These were professionals, soldiers. And then came the second shock. The fighter before them split formation. More vessels rose from the clouds, sleek, angular, bearing hull plating that shimmered with alloys the aliens did not recognize. They weren't primitive. These ships had evolved beyond their Terran ancestors, hardened by isolation. Humanity had not just endured, humanity had adapted. The ensign whispered. They knew, they always knew the galaxy would come looking one day. Exactly, the commander's voice cut across the channel, as though reading their thoughts. For centuries we've trained under that assumption. You left us here to die. Instead we sharpened ourselves against the jungle, the storm, and the war in our blood. And now you stumble into our cage, wondering why the lions don't run. A shiver coursed across the bridge. Rissela had seen many powers rise and fall, but never had she felt so small. Her crew waited for her order, flee or fight, but neither seemed survivable. She opened her mandibles to speak when suddenly, the humans broadcast something new. Images, history. On their central screen, crude but powerful footage played. Soldiers drilling in massive underground complexes, children practicing with rifles carved from scavenged alloys, war games across thick jungles that echoed Earth's forgotten tropics. Generations born and raised for one cause, defense, survival, war. The message was clear. Humanity had not merely preserved itself, it had built a culture around the inevitability of conflict, and every soul on that planet was a soldier. Finally, the human commander spoke one last time. We are not your prey, we are not your curiosity, we are the storm you feared. Leave this place, remember what you found here, and pray you never force us to leave our home. Rissela's throat felt dry. To stay was suicide. To fight was madness. She gave the only order left: break orbit, full retreat. As their ship pulled away, the humans did not fire. They didn't need to. Their silence was more terrifying than any barrage. The last image Rissela saw, as their vessel jumped to hyperspace, was a human warship, rising into orbit, its massive hull painted with one haunting phrase across its side. We were never lost. On the alien homeworld weeks later, when her report reached the council, the chamber erupted in chaos. Officials screamed, scientists debated, militaries demanded details. For once the mighty empires of the galaxy trembled at a single truth. Humans had survived, and they had not softened. The council chamber fell quiet, only when Rissela whispered the final words of her report. They were already preparing for war, and I believe they were preparing for us. And so the galaxy finally understood why humans could never truly be erased. They weren't survivors by chance, they were warriors by design. If you enjoyed this tale of resilience and fear, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more HFY stories, because the humans are just getting started.